Hello and welcome back to Cage Side Press. I am joined by Bellator's biggest villain, is Danny Sabatello. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Let's get right into it. Lazaro Dayron, August 16th. Talk to me. How do you feel about him as an opponent compared to your last few opponents?
Yeah, he fucking sucks, but all these guys fucking suck. I didn't really know this guy before I got the call and told that I was going to be fighting him, but after doing some research and watching some of his fights, I see that he's just very sloppy and he's not on the same level as I am. Skill wise, speed wise, strength wise, intelligence wise, everything. I'm going to be better everywhere. I think this is going to be an absolute masterclass. I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to claw his face off. I don't think that he serves any problem to me. I'm going to be setting traps left and right August 16th, and I'm just excited to get back in there. It's been a while for me. I feel like a little bit of a caged animal, and I'm just going to be taking it out on this motherfucker.
You mentioned a bit of a not really layoff, but some time off away from the cage. Why is the extended time off, and was there anything that you did in this time off?
Well, yeah, in the time off, I'm just getting better and better. I train at the best gym in the world down at American Top Team, so I have no choice but to just show up and get better. That's what I've been doing these past 6, 7, 8 months, whatever it's been. Um, but a thing that is going on behind the scenes is a lot of these fighters are fucking pussies. A lot of these fighters don't sign the contract or accept fights with me. I think they know that when they fight me, obviously the skill level inside the cage they can't match, so they turn it down. But also when you're fighting me, it's a little bit different. The lights are a little bit brighter and I just bring a little bit of a different type of fight. And a lot of people don't want to sign up for that because they're fucking pussies. A lot of people don't understand most fighters are fucking pussies. So, it is what it is. Whatever happened was going on behind the scenes. I'm here now, August 16th. I'll get my first fight in the year. And I still want to have 5 more fights in before the end of the year. If it's up to me, I'd fight a zillion fucking times. But you know what? It is what it is. I've just gotten better and better, and I've needed that. And I'm here to display this next weekend.
And speaking of behind the scenes, PFL's acquisition of Bellator, and now you're fighting this fight under the PFL banner on the PFL Playoffs card. Is there anything different that you've noticed, maybe with relations or behind the scenes, fight week, that kind of stuff?
No, nothing's really too different. They merged, which is just the biggest merge in I think sports history. The one thing about the PFL is it's not really established yet. It's very new, so we don't really know how high the ceiling can be. And I think sky is the limit for this promotion. I think it's going to be the biggest promotion in MMA history. But we just got to keep on the right path. You need big studs fighters like myself fighting and making things interesting and having big fights. You got that with the announcement with Francis Ngannou now fighting in Abu Dhabi. But nothing's really different. PFL doesn't have a bantamweight right now. So with this fight, August 16th in the PFL, they just put a bantamweight fight for me. So if so facto, I am the PFL bantamweight champion. So congratulations to me. But I think in due time they will have a bantamweight. Just because it's such a competitive division too. You look at Bellator's top 10, and it's the best top 10 in any division. We have grappling and striking. The most well-rounded fighters. And it's just going to be very, very exciting. It's just an exciting time in general for PFL, and I'm very excited to take it to new heights and new limits.
Yeah, and the Bellator bantamweight division is elite. Speaking of elite, Patchy Mix is now fighting Leandro Higo, a former opponent of yours, a guy you beat. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, Patchy fighting my sloppy seconds. I don't know who's going to win. I'm very excited for that. I do see myself beating either one of those guys for the belts. Maybe the beginning of next year. I got to get a couple wins in this year, and then I'll be beating the fuck out of Patchy, which is a dream come true matchup. Or I beat the fuck out of Higo again. It doesn't really matter to me. I enjoy beating the fuck out of him. With that matchup, I think they're both very good on the ground, both not too good on the feet. But I think it is very exciting, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top of that one. I think that fight's in September.
Yeah, Paris, I think. Would you like to get a fight in Europe with the Bellator Championship Series? Would you like to get around Europe, or are you happy fighting in America?
No, absolutely. I fucking love Europe, but I'll fight anywhere. They could tell me that you're fighting in the under car garage in an hour. And I was cool, let's fucking go. It doesn't really matter to me. I would love to also get on that card just because Patchy and Higo are fighting on it. So it would make things and tensions a little bit higher if I was on that card. But who knows what's in store for me in the future. First things first, August 16th, take care of this guy. They also have a card in October in Chicago that I would love to be on. They're in Abu Dhabi. They're in Japan on New Year's Eve. So the vision is very bright for me. There's a lot of fucking fights on the horizon for me. It's a very exciting time, and I'm down for everything. I would love to go there and fight in Europe again.
And let's talk about the last fight, Rafael Stotts. It was a unanimous decision loss. Just wondering, you mentioned it being a close fight. How do you feel about the scorecards and the way that fight went?
Yeah, I think I beat him both times. I think I beat him more convincingly the first time. I think fans have understood that. Um, It wasn't my best performance. I obviously should have dominated him even more. If I do get the chance, and I really do think I will get the chance to fight him again at some point, it's just such a big fight. And I see him already. He's talking about me because he knows his only big fights are when he fights me, even though he's technically 2-0 against me. I think he will take that fight because he knows when he fights me, that's the only time he gets attention. It will just be a matter of if I will accept it, and I would accept it because I need to bash his fucking face in. It's a learning experience with that fight. I didn't see it going his way. I saw it going my way. But that's a fight I will get back in the future. But either way, my sights are on the belt first. And in order to get to this belt, I got to get through this fucking loser August 16th, and I will. And I'm going to be doing it in dominating, exciting fashion.
And was there anything that changed in this camp as opposed to the camp for Rafael Stotts?
Not too much. Obviously, you kind of tailor your game plan in order to accommodate the opponent. This opponent isn't a southpaw. Stotts was a southpaw. Just little things like that. You kind of do switch up a little bit. Your sparring partners are a little bit different. You kind of mimic the style of the guy you're fighting. But as a whole, not really. I train at the best gym and American Top Team. So I got a shit ton of guys that I could be going with. For this camp, I've been sparring a lot with Mozart Evloev and Pedro Munoz. So my sparring rounds are going to be harder than the actual fight itself. When you're at American Top Team in that fucking loaded gym, your hardest fight is sparring more so than the actual fight. A lot of these guys in the gym are better. Mozart and Pedro are better than this guy that I'm fighting August 16th. So August 16th is just going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Speaking of Malzar, he's got a very big fight with Aljamain Sterling coming out. How do you see that fight going for him?
Yeah, I think Mozart's going to be too much for him. I don't think Aljamain's very good. He has one good position. If he gets your back and he has that figure four body triangle position, he's actually kind of average there. But if he doesn't get there, I don't see him being very good. I think Mozart's just going to smother him and get the win.
Fair enough. Let's dig into some hair stuff, right? You normally rock the blonde hair. I rock the blonde hair myself, but are you bringing back the blonde hair for this fight?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't do it every single fight, but I do it some fights. I kind of haven't made my mind up. I'm flirting with a couple ideas, maybe blonde, maybe black, maybe something else. I don't know, maybe a different hairstyle we haven't seen before. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Maybe all natural. We'll just have to find out August 16th.
Love it. Let's dig into Lazaro a little bit more. He's an undefeated guy. When you face an undefeated guy, you see that zero. Is that motivating to be like, I want to be that guy to break that goose egg?
Yeah, it always is. And every fighter will tell you the same because when you're undefeated, your confidence is so high. And I'm a guy that likes to rain on parades and spoil everybody's party. This guy, he thinks that he's absolutely bulletproof right now. He's undefeated. That's how undefeated fighters are. I want to be the guy to absolutely fuck him up and rethink his fighting career. When somebody's undefeated, they just dread that first loss because it's a loss that you will never forget. And I need him to remember my name for the rest of his life. Danny Sabatello beat the fuck out of him, his very first loss. So I know his confidence is going to be high. The most dangerous fighter is an undefeated fighter because they throw everything with 100% confidence and they go balls to the wall. And I'm expecting that out of him. I want that out of him. I want his best and I want him to be very confident just so I can put my fucking elbow through his fucking nose. But actually, no, it can't be an elbow because of PFL rules. So I'll just have to settle with my knee through his nose. But yeah, he's undefeated, and I'm excited to take his O away from him.
So even with the PFL it not being a season fight, it's still under the rules of no elbows.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there will not be any elbows on a PFL card, so I'll just have to use my other weapons. It's not really a big deal. It doesn't really matter too much to me. Obviously, with the ground and pound, I use a lot of elbows, but that's okay. I'll just punch him in the fucking skull instead.
Fair enough. I think that'll be pretty effective as well. Big announcement from the PFL was Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira. How do you see that fight going?
Yeah, that's a massive, very exciting fight. That's a fight that makes PFL just even bigger because Francis is a big name. He's probably the most popular guy right now, probably the biggest badass. He's massive. He has so much success. But this Henan guy is fucking elite. He's American top team too. I see him training all the time. I actually just saw him an hour ago. He's very good. He's very big, and he could be the guy to beat Francis. I'm actually going to take the upset. I think that Henan beats him. But either way, in Abu Dhabi, it's going to be absolutely electric that night. It's going to be an absolutely massive card. I know it's going to be a massive card, and I would like to make it even more massive and get on that card. But we'll see how things shake out. But either way, that is a massive fight for the PFL, and it grows this business even bigger.
And speaking of a massive card, this one that you are on is a quite a big card, a PFL playoffs card, headlined by a rematch between Impa Kasanganay and Josh Silveira. How do you see that fight going?
Yeah, Josh is my boy and my teammate. I think Josh gets the upset. I know it's the main event. It's a big fight. They're both very skillful fighters. This is going to be a very high level fight. I'm very excited for it just because I know the crowd's going to be crazy. You know, this is South Florida where the fans actually understand MMA. This is a hotbed down here in Florida for MMA. You got very good gyms and the best gym of all American top team. So the circumstances are going to be very high August 16th. That'll be a very exciting fight. But with all these fights and the playoffs and everything going on, I still think my fight is going to be the absolute craziest. You know, when I'm fighting, things are just a little bit different. The crowd is either booing me or going nuts for me. I'm not even part of the tournament right now. And I think that my fight will be the most exciting one, even though it's not part of the tournament.
And going outside of Florida, you are from Chicago. Are you do you follow other Chicago sports?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big sports guy. All I really care about is sports, you know, fighting, football, baseball. I don't really give a fuck about basketball too much. Hockey, you know, the Florida Panthers actually just won the Stanley Cup. That was awesome. I live down here in Fort Lauderdale, and their practice stadium is here in Fort Lauderdale. So I see these guys on the streets all the time. But yeah, Chicago sports is huge to me.
There's a big thing with the Chicago Bears right now with Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze. How are you feeling about that, and how exciting is it for the Bears now to have a little bit of excitement, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, the way that Caleb Williams is set up right now is a very good opportunity for him. You know, he's a rookie QB, so obviously there's going to be a massive learning curve. But the weapons that he has, I don't know if another rookie has been set up even better than he has. You know, he's got a lot of good guys. He's got Cole Kmet at tight end, good receivers, good running backs, a good line, good defense. The Bears could upset a lot of people. I don't know if this is the year that they do it all, but I do think it's going to be an exciting year. I know Caleb is only a rookie, but I do think they're going to be very good this year. I think they're going to have a winning season. It is very tough for a rookie to just go in there and succeed, but I see Caleb Williams and the Bears doing that.
Did you see the video of him talking about getting a signing bonus
Uh, was it in front of the whole team?
in front of the whole team? Yeah,
Yeah, I think I saw that.
it's quite a crazy signing bonus to get, isn't it, for like a normal guy like me? Like I don't earn anywhere close to that. It's quite a crazy thing.
Yeah,
He just signs a contract and he gets that transferred to his bank account.
it's just crazy the amount of money there in sports. You know, this is the entertainment business,
Yeah,
but it is huge. You know, and you hear him say that, and you look at the number, and it does blow your mind. But that just shows there is that amount of money in this, and you know what? It's deserving. I do love the teammates' reaction because after he said that, everybody went nuts. So you obviously see
Tyler's
that.
agent had a little like pretend seizure and everything.
Yeah, it was awesome. But if people are excited about that and not jealous and hating him, then that tells you that that guy's a good guy. And you need that out of the quarterback. He's the leader. The quarterback is the most unique position in all sports. He's the leader out there. So when you have the locker room hearing that number and going nuts and happy for him, that's a good sign.
And you mentioned loving baseball as well. There's two teams in Chicago. Who's your baseball team in Chicago?
Oh, the Cubs. Nobody gives a fuck about the White Sox. They suck.
I was
They
gonna
almost
say,
set a
if you're
fucking
White Sox
record.
fans, I feel really bad for you.
Yeah, I don't. They need to leave the city. They actually should get the fuck out of Chicago. They almost set a record for consecutive losses in a row. I
They
think they
did.
got to
I think they
21.
did 21 in a row. Yeah.
Oh, did yeah. I mean, and then of course their win comes against the A's, the Oakland A's.
The other
But
team that sucks.
yeah, they're terrible. The White Sox suck. I'll be Cubs till the day I die. I was living in Chicago in 2016, the year the Cubs won the World Series,
Hmm.
which is just the most unique thing that I've ever seen in my life was that parade. But yeah, Cubs forever.
And you mentioned sports being the entertainment business. I think that's what we've really seen in recent years. One thing is the WWE is obviously worldwide entertain or world wrestling entertainment. Sorry. Uh, could you see yourself going into the WWE? Because I feel like you have the personality for it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I don't know what life has in store after my fighting career. If it was up to me, I would fight forever. I'm obsessed with this game and I love it. It's all I want to fucking do. But I could see myself in the WWE. You know, I could see myself as an entertainer in that aspect. It would be very fun to me and exciting. I think I would be very good at it. I don't know the in and outs of that business right now just because I'm obsessed with fighting and that's all I fucking know right now. But I could for sure see myself going down that path later on in life.
What would your signature move be if you were a WWE wrestler?
I would have to think about that. I don't know. I practiced a plenty of moves with my older brothers growing up, watching that shit. But I don't know. We would have to see it. It would for sure have to be very exciting and very flashy because that's my nature.
I love it. Let's close out this interview by doing a little bit of a quick fire, a little personal questions. Starting off with your favorite movie.
Favorite movie is A Bronx Tale. It's amazing. A lot of people don't know what it is. People, when they think about Italian gangster, Italian mafia movies, they think about The Godfather or Goodfellas or Casino. But A Bronx Tale is incredible.
Your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show, Entourage. It's incredible. It's amazing. It makes me feel good. The boys. It's just how life should be.
Your favorite music artist?
Favorite music artist. Probably. I don't have a favorite artist, but my favorite sound is my opponent's head bashing off the fucking canvas.
If you were to have a fight or a dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Three people. Um, my mom, my dad, and my grandpa.
Love it. You have a favorite video game? Are you a big video game guy?
Nope, I don't really have hobbies. All I care about is fucking fighting. It's all I think about. I know it sounds crazy to a lot of people. I don't take vacations. I don't have hobbies. I don't play video games. I don't do these little things. I don't read. I don't do any of that shit. My life just revolves around fighting.
What's your favorite thing to do after practice?
Watch the film of the practice.
And what is your favorite practice? Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking? What is it?
All of it, really. I don't really want to point out a favorite because it depends on the week. You know, if it's a week where I'm learning new moves in jujitsu, I would say that that's most interesting because I'm learning. But sometimes I learn new techniques in boxing or kickboxing or wrestling. Um, but overall, I don't have a favorite. But my favorite day of the week is sparring day, just because that's when you get to test out your skills and everything that you've been working on and really test yourself. Just because, you know, when you're at the best gym in the world, you have such high level guys, and it's such a confidence boost when you're doing good against everybody.
Well, Danny, I really, really appreciate the time, and I wish you the best of luck next week.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.